on practical instructions on Christian living. And so in brief, James' letter is to all Christians, and it is very relevant in our contemporary life as followers of Christ. So everything he touches on speaks on what happens practically and how we as Christians can purpose to live Christian lives. I'm going to look at the book of James, chapter 4, verses 1 to 12. And chapter 4, verses 1 states, "Where do all these fights and quarrels among you come from? Where do all these fights and quarrels among you come from? They come from your desires for pleasure, which are constantly fighting within you." They come from your desires for pleasure, which are constantly fighting within you. You want things, but you cannot have them. So you are ready to kill. You want things, you cannot have them. So you're ready to kill. You strongly desire things, but you cannot get them. So you quarrel and fight. You strongly desire things, but you cannot get them. So you quarrel and fight. You do not have what you want because you do not ask God for it. And when you ask, you do not receive because your motives are bad. You ask for things to use for your own selfish pleasures. In summary, the media team just pop out James 4, 1 to 3 as I speak on the issues. James chapter 4, verse 1 to 3. In summary, that is what happens practically in life. That many times you find that you want something you're not able to get. And sometimes when people are not able to get what they want, they resolve into ways that are not pleasant before God to get what they want, but eventually they do not get. My brother, my sister, I just want to tie that with Psalms chapter 139. And during your own free time, kindly read the book of Psalms 139. It says so much about God's knowledge of us. That God knows even what we want to say. Even before we open our mouths, God already knows. He has deep understanding of us. He has great understanding of us. Even the things we do in darkness. Darkness is as bright as light. Darkness and light are all the same in the eyes of God. We cannot hide from God. We cannot run away from God. He has great understanding of us. Even the things we do in secret, there's no secret before God. If we go to the east is not too far from God. He will be there. If you go to the farthest west, he will lead us, and he's also there. We cannot hide from God. The Bible even says in 139, Psalms 139, even when we go to the grave, he is already in the grave. You cannot hide from God. We cannot hide from God. He was there with Lazarus in the grave. and he allowed him to resurrect. We cannot hide from our Maker. And as Christians, we need to know very well that we have to align our Christian living to ways in which God will be happy with us. God cannot rebuild us when you irritate him. God cannot rebuild us when you do things that are not pleasant in darkness. Even in darkness, even our deepest thoughts that no one is aware of, God is aware of them. Even before we open our mouths, he already knows what we want to do. Even the thoughts we have about our friends, whether they're evil, he already knows. Whether they are good, he already knows. So as Christians, we must endeavor to live a transparent life before our Maker. Because when we do that, God will rebuild us. God will prosper us. God will use us as a testament to many that he rewards those who obey him. I want to speak about, as we are talking about wanting to have things, as James is talking about wanting to have things we cannot have. It is practical in the Bible. When you look at the book of Kings, 1 Kings, chapter 21, the story of King Ahab and Naboth. And there lived a king, Ahab, who had a neighbor called Naboth. He looked at the land of Naboth. It was pleasant. He loved it. He coveted the land. And he told Ahab, "Why don't you sell for me this land of yours? I love your land. I would like to use it as a garden. Why don't you sell it to me at a certain amount of money, or I can even take you elsewhere." Naboth was very candid and told him in 1 Kings 21, "I inherited this vineyard from my ancestors. The Lord forbid that I should let you have it. The Lord forbid that I should have you, that I should let you have it." King Ahab coveted the land of Naboth. He wanted to use it. He wanted to possess it. But Naboth reminded him, "This is my ancestral land. I will not sell it. I cannot allow you to have it." Ahab wanted that land. Many times we want things that belong to others, to our neighbors. We covet. "I wish that land belonged to me. I wish I can have that land." Even before the owner decides to sell it, you even approach him. "Could I kindly have your land?" It happens practically. But what happened? Naboth was ready to defend his ancestral land and said, "God forbid, I cannot let you have it." And Ahab was irritated. Ahab was annoyed. When Ahab went back to his place, to his home, you don't have to pick the crutch, thank you. When Ahab went back home, the wife Jezebel realized that the husband was not happy. The husband was annoyed. He could not eat, and she wondered, "Why are you not happy? Why are you not eating? What exactly is happening?" Any woman would want to find out. Why is my husband annoyed? He's refused to eat. Could I be the cause? What can I do to make him happy? that is what was in Jezebel's mind, to make the husband happy. Why are you so depressed? Jezebel asked. In 1 Kings 21, 1 Kings chapter 21. Why are you so depressed? Why would you not eat? And Ahab told the wife in verse 6. Verse 6. Because of what Naboth said to me, I offered to buy his vineyard, or if he preferred, to give him another one for it. But he told me that I couldn't have it. He told me I couldn't have it. Many times, sometimes you want something, but we are not able to get. We are not able to have what we want. As Christians, this is very practical. You want a piece of land, you are not able to get. You want a house, you are not able to get. You even want someone to marry you. You are not able to get that person. You want a man to marry you. You are not able to get him. That particular man. You want a lady to marry you. You are not able to get that particular lady. This is very practical. Sometimes you can want things and we don't have. At once, Jezebel told the husband. By the way, she didn't even tell the husband. No, she told the husband, you'll get the land. And she started planning, scheming. How will my husband get the land? And she schemed until the plot was ripe. She wrote letters asking for a festival, a fasting festival, and ensuring that Naboth was given a place of honor. And then mobilized some scoundrels to come and allege, you know what? Naboth has blasphemed God and the king. Naboth has gone against the king and God. And the plot was ripe. With that accusation from the place of honor, Naboth was stoned and died. And she was very happy. And now she told the husband, you know what? Naboth is dead. You can go, you can have the vineyard. And guess what happened? In verse 16, it tells us, verse 16, 1 Kings chapter 21, verse 16, it tells us, at once Ahab went to the vineyard to take possession of it. He did not waste time. He went to the vineyard to take possession of it. And the wife had planned. You want something you cannot have, and you want to plan to have it. As a Christian, it can never work positively. You want a man to marry you. You look for ways that are not Christian-like. You want a woman to marry you. You look for ways that are not Christian-like to ensure that you get that woman, to ensure you get that man. If God has not rubber stamped, it will not work. There are practical ways in which you can do things as a Christian. We cannot do like the people of the world. Let the people of the world behave the way they do. But when we are delivered by God, when we are delivered by Christ, and we are followers of Christ, we must do our things in a Christian way. When we want to have, we have to go back to God and tell God, I need to get married. I need a man of this caliber. I need a woman of this caliber. And pray earnestly. God will answer us. But there are instances when even women cause a divorce in families to have a man. There are instances when even men cause a divorce in a family to have a woman. The story of Ahab is very practical. It will not work. God does not work that way. You possess, you get, but in the end, what happens? Elijah will come with his message. You have caused a divorce, you already have a man. You have caused a divorce, you already have a woman. In a short while, Elijah will come with his message. And Elijah was sent to Ahab. And God told Elijah to go to Naboth's vineyard. He'll find Ahab. Verse 19b, Elijah's message to Ahab. In the very place that the dogs licked up Naboth's blood, they will lick up your blood. That was the message. In the very place that the dogs licked up Naboth's blood, they will lick up your blood. Yes, the plan was executed. Yes, Jezebel did the best she could to make the husband get the possession of Naboth. But in the end, God had to make a ruling that even though Naboth is dead, in the same way he died, Ahab, your blood will also be licked by dogs. And Jezebel, your body will be eaten up by dogs. And it came to pass. As Christians, as we seek to rebuild our lives, we must be very careful how we handle ourselves as Christians. Because when we plan evil against our enemies, just know that Elijah will come to speak to you. And what Elijah will speak to you may not please you. Pray to God. May God help us pray to him. So that when we want something, God will give it to us. So that we do not covet other people's things. You want a vehicle, do not covet somebody else's vehicle. You want a piece of land, do not covet somebody else's piece of land. You want a house, do not covet somebody's house. You want a job, do not covet somebody's job. Ask, and it shall be given. The book of Matthew tells us very clearly that when we ask, we will be given. When we knock, the door will be opened. God speaks to us every day, every minute in the Bible. And I just like the way God works these days, because sometimes even if you don't have a real Bible, you can still use your phone to see what is God saying about this issue. What is God saying in the book of Matthew? What is God saying in whichever book? God is nearer to us than he was many years ago. For those who purpose to move near to God. I want to tell you, my brothers, my sisters, it is possible to sin against God just because of wanting something you cannot have. And this reminds us also of Gehazi's sin. Gehazi was the servant of Elisha. Gehazi worked with Elisha. And one time in the book of 2 Kings chapter 5, chapter 5, we see Naaman, a Syrian, who had leprosy. And he wondered, how will he be healed? And he was told by his servant, there's a man, Elisha, who is able to pray for you and you get well. When Naaman went to Elisha, Elisha did not even see him direct. You know, there's some power that if God bestows on you, you can tell someone, go and do this, and it will happen, even without you going. And so that is the power Elisha had. And Elisha told a servant, go and tell Naaman to go to the Jordan, dip himself 7 times in the river, and he will be fine. And Naaman wondered, what kind of healing is this? I expected this man to call me, after calling me, pray for me, even point on my disease, and rebuke until I am fine. What kind of healing is this? But someone said, no, you see, if Elisha has told you to do that, just do that, and you'll be fine. Are there not other rivers better than Jordan? Why the Jordan? It's a mediocre river. But the servant implored on him to go and do what the man of God had said. So when he went, dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, he was healed. And when he was healed, he was impressed. He came back to Elisha with a lot of presents, just to appreciate him and tell him thank you for the healing. But Elisha said, no, I will not accept. This is not time to take presents. This is not the time to take gifts. And so Elisha refused. And Naaman pleaded with him. Elisha refused. And Gehazi, his servant, looked and wondered, why should my master refuse these gifts? So when Elisha refused, Naaman went away. Within a short time, Gehazi asked himself, Gehazi in chapter 5, 2 Kings chapter 5, 16, Elisha said, by the living Lord whom I serve, I swear that I will not accept a gift. I swear that I will not accept the gift. The healing was free. Elisha recognized that he had the power to pray for people and they were healed. And he did not take it for granted. He knew that it is a gift that was given to him to pass on to mankind. So he did not need, it was divine gift that was given to him by the grace of God to pass on to mankind. So he did not accept, and he was not ready to accept any gift from mankind because he knew he got it from God. But in verse 20, Naaman decides. Verse 20, my master has let Naaman get away without paying a thing. He should have accepted what the Syrian offered him. By the living Lord, I will run after him and get something from him. Remember, God knows us, even our thoughts. That is what the book of Psalms has told us. God knows the things we are thinking about. Even before we act, after coveting others' property, other things, God already knows. He has great understanding about us. And so what happened? Gehazi decided to go back and get the gifts. And he lied to Naaman that my master has received some visitors, and therefore he wants some 3,000 monies, and he wants some fine clothes and all that. He was even given double that he had asked for. And then he went back to his house. When he went back to his house, Elisha asked, where have you been? But he lied. I've not been anywhere. But Elisha told Gehazi, I was there in spirit, where the man waited for you and gave you this and that, and therefore The leprosy that Naaman had, you'll have it together with your descendants. Coveting people's things. Wanting to have what does not belong to you. And you lie. My master has said this and that. You are working even in a home. Probably your master is very generous and tells you as a servant, can you do this and that? Give so and so. I'm blessing this family. But you fail to take that blessing to the family that is intended. The book of Psalms tells us God knows our thoughts. Even when we are seated, He's aware. Even when we are walking, He's aware. Even before we open our mouths, He knows what we are about to say. And therefore, we have to be careful how we live as Christians. When we plan evil against others, God is fully aware. When we plot evil against our neighbors because we are coveting what they have, God is already aware. And when God is aware, the man of God comes to you. Elisha will come to you. Elisha will come and speak to you and tell you, the leprosy that was meant for Naaman, you'll have it and it will go to your descendants. These are practical things that happen in our Christian life. And so I want to tell you, my brothers, I want to tell you, my sisters, let us tell God to help us in our Christian life. Let us tell God to help us so that when we desire something, it should be for His glory. James also reminds us in verse 2. You want things, but you cannot have them. So you are ready to kill. You strongly desire things that you cannot get, but you cannot get them. So you quarrel and fight. You do not have what you want because you do not ask God. These are not times to ask Karumanzira. These are not times to go to Agangas. These are not times to perform our own miracles because you're coveting what someone has. Ask God. James is reminding us. And when we ask God, the book of Matthew tells us, whatever we ask in Jesus' name, it shall be done. And when you ask, you do not receive it because your motives are bad. You ask for things to use for your own pleasure. When we ask God for something, let us be careful so that when we ask, we tell God, we need this miracle because we want to serve you. I want to get land because I want to settle my family. God, it is a responsibility you've given me to take care of my family. Help me be able to purchase a piece of land. Help me be able to build because I want to do my responsibility. You gave me a responsibility to take care of my family. Tell God why you want God to bless you. There must be a reason why you want God to bless you. Don't just ask for a blessing. Let God know that you're not selfish in asking for the blessing. You're asking because you want to perform your duty. King Solomon was asked by God, what do you want me to do for you? What did King Solomon say? I'm asking that you give me wisdom, that I may be able to take care of the people you put under me. I don't have the wisdom. And God was amazed. You want what you're asking is wisdom to take care of my people? Then I'll give you wisdom plus other things you have not asked for. I will give you silver and gold. I'll make you prosperous. I'll do this and that. Ask God as a Christian practical solution. Tell God, I want you to bless me so that I may be a blessing to the people you bring my way, so that honor and glory can go to you. In 2013, I had a practical issue when I was seeing the grave before me. But I told God, I'm just praying for one thing. Give me an opportunity to be alive, that I may do my responsibility. You have given me children. I need to educate them. I need to help them. I need to escort them in life. That is the reason I need you to give me a second chance. I also want to show people that you are more than able. I want to proclaim that you are more than able. You have helped me be alive. I want to proclaim before men of God. And for sure in 2013, I did not know at one point I will stand before you. I'll stand in a place like Hadi, where men of God, women of God, teens of God are listening, that I may proclaim that God is able. This is an ask that I asked God in 2013. Keep me alive, that I may proclaim before your people that you are able. Give me a chance to live. And God has allowed it. And when the pastor at one point just told me, will you be available? Can you be available on a Sunday? I saw the Spirit of God confirming what I had asked in 2013. That a time will come when I will share my testament with people and say that I had cancer. I believed in God. He gave me a chance to be alive. He gave me a chance to accomplish what I wanted. But the same God gave me more than I asked for. I never asked God to keep me alive so that at one point I'll be in parliament. Never. I never asked God to keep me alive so that at one point I'll become a doctor. Never. I asked God to give me a chance to be alive and fulfill the purpose intended for me of taking care of my children. As a parent, that is a responsibility God has given us. And I told God, I want a chance to be alive, to proclaim that you are able. And He gave me more than I asked for. My brothers, my sisters, I want to let you know that as we live as Christians, Paul has given us practical instructions on how we can live as Christians. That we look at God, that we trust God, that we live for God, and we humble ourselves. It does not matter your profession. It does not matter what you're doing. It does not matter your career. When it comes to issues of God, you must be humble. Paul is telling us clearly that we need to humble ourselves. Paul is telling us, humble yourself and He will lift you up. Humble yourself. Not Paul. James is telling us, humble yourself and He will lift you up. So my take now as Christians is that let us humble ourselves and live for God. Let us ask God to give us what we require in life, and let us not covet what belongs to others. Let us not covet what belongs to others. Brother Manasseh, kindly come and close up with a word of prayer.
Tuombe. Baba, katika jina la Yesu, neno lako limesoma kwa ajili ya watu wako asubuhi ya leo hii. Baraka zako ziendelee kudumu katika watu wako. Pokea sifa, maana wewe ni Mungu aliyeleta neno hili. Bwana, tunaendelea kumwombea, muinue, mpe ushuhuda, maana wewe ni Mungu. Katika jina la Yesu tunaomba na tukuamini. Amen.